Right, it's been too long since we did a video on the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, and today we're going to be talking about bash plates with a detailed look at this little beauty from Hitchcocks motorcycles. So let's do it. So for me, my Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 spends most of its time right here on the smooth, paved roads of the United Kingdom, and as such, I've got to say that a bash plate or sump guard or belly pan, whatever you want to call it, for me is really a nice to have. It's not really an essential item. It is, however, a stylish touch that, for my purposes, enhances the look of the bike rather than serving any specific need for extra protection. Now, when I first got my Interceptor, I probably rode for about 2 months or so with no bash plate on the bike at all. And guess what? I didn't have any problems. In that time, I did decide that I would go ahead and fit a part from Tech Bike. It cost around 60 quid. As you can see it here, it's a nice touch, fairly easy to fit and remove. Some people definitely have questions about the holes in the front of it and ask why they're there. And I would say if you're doing a lot of off-road riding, then it's quite possible that the OEM genuine Royal Enfield bash plate will certainly give you the most protection across both the sump and the filter. Now, after removing the tech plate and giving it a little bit of a clean-up, you'll see that the condition of the part pretty much proves my point about not technically needing a bash plate for the bike. It's completely unscathed after about 12 months and 2,000 miles. No scratches or obvious signs of wear and tear. As I said, I only ride on the slab, so you might not be too surprised to see that this particular plate has had a pretty easy life. Right, so have a look at this photo here. This was sent to me by Hitchcocks Motorcycles from their archive. It's an original Royal Enfield Interceptor from back in the 1960s. And if I may ask you just to lower your gaze to the bottom of the bike for a second, you'll notice this rather stylish louver mesh sump guard on the bottom of the bike. Now, back in the day, if you wanted a guard on your Interceptor, this is what they look like. And fast forward to 2021, and Hitchcocks Motorcycles have got an exclusive remanufacture of the original. It's made here in England, and it is designed to fit both the Interceptor and its twin, the Continental GT. And I'm wrapping it for the first time. It is a properly solid bit of kit. It's got a real nice weight to it. It's made from steel. It comes in this beautiful glossy black powder coat finish as well. It's going to cost £171 with VAT, and in the kit you get everything that you need to fit it to the bike. And these close-ups reveal just what a quality piece of hardware this is. Everything from the design of the louver mesh, the attention to detail that's gone into the welding, the quality of the coating, it's all top-class stuff. It's almost a crying shame that this part is going to spend its existence bolted to the bottom of the bike where it's not going to get seen that much. But as I said, this has also got a job to do, and having handled it, it does feel robust enough to fend off, rocks and logs and all that kind of stuff that you might be riding over if your intention is to take this bike off-road. Now, in the kit, you've got this bracket here, which is used to mount onto the two front engine bolts, and these two collars, which you're going to bolt onto the bottom part of the frame as well. Fitting it took around 30 minutes or so. I started out with the front bracket, removing the nuts from these two engine mounting bolts on the front of the bike. I then positioned the bracket onto these bolts, and again, using the same factory nuts, just got it all torqued up in place. Now, when it comes to the two collars for the frame, I found that I had to loosen off the headers to get my spanner into this small gap between the pipes and the bottom part of the frame. Now, it may well save you time just to go ahead and get the headers and the exhaust off the bike to do this. I had to fiddle around a little bit to get my spanner in there. I did it eventually, ended up loosening the headers, found enough space, but I think if I was going to do it again, I'd just get the headers out the way, make it easier for yourself. But once the brackets are in place, it was just a case of offering up the sump guard, bolting it to the mounting points with the supplied hex bolts, and that's pretty much it. You'll probably have to fiddle around a little bit just to get everything to line up. It took me about 10 minutes or so just moving stuff about, but it's really very, very straightforward. The part doesn't come with instructions because you don't need them. It's really that easy. Now, with the sump guard on the bike, it's definitely worth addressing what for some people might be the elephant in the room, and that is that this particular sump guard doesn't extend its protection up over the oil filter. So if that's a concern for you, if you're looking for that, this piece isn't going to do the job. You might want to look at something like the genuine Royal Enfield part, which offers greater coverage up over the filter. Although I will say that if you're looking at this purely from a sump guard, that is to protect the underbelly of your bike, if you're taking it off-road and going to be hitting rocks and logs and things like that, this part does feel tough enough and robust enough to do that work. It's definitely a very, very solid piece. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Some people want protection over the oil filter. If that's not important to you, I think this combination of toughness and the fact that it's got that original, authentic look, for me, makes this part a definite winner. It's certainly a lot more than just a styling exercise, but at the same time, stylish it certainly is. I really like this authentic touch of class that it brings to the Interceptor. It pays homage to the original in great style, and personally, I love it. So that's it for now. I hope this has been useful. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more on the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 very soon. Until the next one, ride safe.